The legend has returned. The machine that was once only seen in movies has now stepped into reality. The 2026 Batmobile is finally here. And it is more than a car. It is a monster in matte black.
A vision of pure dominance.
A machine that looks like it has been carved out of the shadows themselves.
From the very first glance, it doesn't whisper.
It roars without making a sound. The Batmobile doesn't just move. It hunts. Every system built into this monster is designed for one thing.
Domination.
The exterior armor is not ordinary steel. It is a layered composite of carbon nanotubes, reactive plating, and ballistic shielding.
Each rug of small arms fire like raindrops.
It laughs at explosions. Even high-caliber rounds deform against its skin. The matte black finish isn't only for style. It absorbs radar.
It reflection. To most detection system, the Batmobile is invisible. Like a ghost on wheel. Like a shadow moving through the night.
But when it needs to be seen, it transforms. Panels shift.
Lights flare.
A menacing growl echoes from its engines. It makes itself known. Because fear can be a weapon too.
Underneath, the chassis is a network of deployable systems.
Press one button, and smoke pours out, cloaking entire streets in seconds. Press another, and spike strips launch backwards, shredding enemy tires. Press more, and drones emerge, autonomous eyes that scout ahead or chase targets down alleys. The Batmobile is more than defense. It is offense.
Hidden to rise from the fender. EMP blaster pulse with invisible fury, shutting down electronics in a heartbeat.
Grappling hooks fire to rip obstacles away or swing the car in impossible turns.
Rocket pod lock on when danger escalade beyond control.
And when stealth is more important than destruction, the Batmobile vanishes. The hybrid system switches to full electric.
The growl dies. Silence takes over.
Now it glides without sound. Only the faint hum of tires whispering against asphalt betrays its presence. In this mode, it becomes untouchable. You can't hear it. You can't see it. You can only feel the weight of something watching you from the dark. Inside, the cockpit becomes a command center. Multiple holographic displays wrap around the driver. Live feeds from drones show rooftops and alleys. Thermal vision paints glowing outlines of threats. AI voice calmly analyzes danger levels, threat positions, and tactical responses. Every second inside the Batmobile feels like playing chess at lightning speed. Except the board is the city. And the pieces are enemies who don't even know they've already lost. The steering doesn't just control wheels.
It controls destiny.
It gives the driver precision like no other machine on Earth. Imagine taking a 90-degree turn at over 100 miles per hour.
Impossible.
Not for this monster. The all-wheel torque vectoring shifts power instantly, claws gripping concrete with impossible traction. Suspension systems react in milliseconds, lowering, stiffening, or flexing as the environment changes. Every bump is absorbed. Every movement is calculated. Every response is faster than human reflex. The Batmobile doesn't just carry the driver. It syncs with them.
Almost like reading the mind. Almost like it knows what you want before you even move.
And maybe it does. Because the AI isn't just a co-pilot. It is a partner. It adapts to the driver's style. Aggressive or cautious. Fast or silent. It learns. It evolves. It becomes better every time it is driven.
The 2026 Batmobile is alive.
And like any predator, it only becomes deadlier with experience.
But beyond the weapon and technology, they carried something deeper.
Symbolism. It is not just a vehicle of war. It is a statement of fear and hope wrapped in matte black armor. Fear for those who stand against it. Hope for those who stand behind it. When it appears, criminals don't just run. They break. Their confidence shatters. Because facing the Batmobile is not like facing a man. It is like facing a storm. And storms don't lose. Even in the daylight, the Batmobile feels unnatural. Its matte black paint absorbs the sun like it resents light itself. Shadows cling to it as if it commands them. Parked still, it feels alive. Idle. Waiting. Breathing. But in motion, it transforms. It doesn't drive like other cars. It doesn't even race. It prowls. The sound of the hybrid engine mixing with the electric motors is unlike anything on Earth. A guttural growl layered with a futuristic whine. It is a soundtrack of fear. One that echoes long after it passes. And when it roars at full throttle, cities tremble.
Windows rattle. Ground shack.
People stop in their tracks. Because what just passed them wasn't a car. It was a monster.
The matte black it scratch, scar, and burns like a soldier's armor. Every mission leave marks.
And yet, it wears them like pride.
Like proof of survival.
Like a reminder that this machine is not fragile. It is forged in war. It thrives in
Chaos.
The 2026 Batmobile isn't built for luxury. It isn't built for comfort. It is built for dominance.
And nothing else.
Its presence alone commands respect. It is not just transportation. It is intimidation on wheels.
The matte black finish makes it disappear into the night.
But when the light hits it, it reveals sharp edges and brutal curves that look almost alien. This is not designed for beauty.
This is designed for fear.
Every line of the 2026 Batmobile looks like it has a purpose. Every vent, every panel, every angle is sculpted to make a statement. And that statement is simple.
I am unstoppable. I am intouchable. I am the dark knight of the road.
The front is low and aggressive, like a predator crouched to attack. Massive intakes swallow air and send it rushing through the beast's lungs. The headlights are razor-thin slits glowing with white fury, piercing the dark like a watchful guardian. Move to the side and the silhouette stretches long and muscular. The cockpit sits in the middle, armored and commanding. Wheels as wide as shields grip the asphalt with claws of rubber and carbon. And at the back, a diffuser like a fighter jet swallows the ground while a glowing afterburner-like exhaust promises fire and fury.
This is not fantasy anymore.
This is the future brought to life.
Underneath the matte black armor, the 2026 Batmobile is technology that feels stolen from another planet.
The engine is a hybrid monster.
Par électrique. Par combustion.
All rage.
When the electric motors engage, it moves in silence, like a shadow gliding through the night. When the combustion engine ignite, the silence breaks into thunder.
The sound is not just noise.
It's our cry.
A reminder that this is not a toy. It is a weapon. With over 1,500 horsepower combined, it accelerates like it's tearing a hole through reality.
0 to 60, under 2 seconds.
Top speed?
Beyond 250 miles per hour.
But numbers don't tell the whole story. Because this is not just about speed. It's about presence. It's about control. It's about the feeling of sitting inside a cockpit that feels closer to a fighter jet than a car.
Step inside and you enter another world. The doors rise like the wings of a bat.
The cabin is cloaked in matte textures, carbon fiber veins, and glowing accents of red and white. Screens surround the driver with tactical readouts. Gauges show not just speed and revs, but weapon systems and surveillance.
Yes, weapon system.
Because the 2026 Batmobile is not only a car. It is an arsenal. Hidden compartments reveal grappling hooks, smoke screens, EMP pulses, and even autonomous drone deployment. The steering wheel is shaped more like a fighter jet yoke, giving full control over precision maneuvers. The seats hug like armor. The glass canopy above is bulletproof. Every inch of this cockpit feels like a throne.
A throne for a king of the night.
And yet, it is not just about power. It is about innovation. The Batmobile is loaded with AI integration. Voice command systems respond instantly. The car can drive itself, anticipate threats, and even engage in defensive maneuvers without human input. It's like having Alfred built into the machine. Except this Alfred is made of code, circuits, and pure tactical genius. And the beauty of it?
It feels alive.
Every system talks to the driver.
Every sensor whisper information.
It's as if the car itself is watching the world with you.
Like a partner. Like a guardian. Like a beast waiting to be unleashed.
But what makes the 2026 Batmobile more than just a machine is its identity. It carries the weight of decades of legacy.
From the gothic monsters of the Tim Burton era.
To the tank-like brute of Christopher Nolan's trilogy. To the sleek weapon of modern films.
All those visions live inside this one design. It's a tribute.
And at the same time, a reinvention. It's the past, the present, and the future rolled into one machine of shadows. On the streets, it is chaos contained in motion. People stop.
Crowd gâté.
Phones rise. But the Batmobile doesn't care. It doesn't pose. It doesn't beg for attention.
It simply move, like a shadow passing through. Everywhere it goes, silence follow. Note the silence of peace. The silence of awe. The silence of fear.
The silence of knowing you are looking at something that shouldn't even exist. And yet, here it is. The Batmobile of 2026.
A monster in matte black.
Legends are not built overnight. They are forged in fire. And the Batmobile is the perfect example. From its earliest versions, it has always been more than a car. It has always been a weapon of fear. The 2026 Batmobile doesn't abandon that tradition. It redefines it. Every sharp edge, every curve, every vent is sculpted with purpose. Not for beauty, though it is terrifyingly beautiful, but for intimidation. For dominance. For silence when it chooses.
For chaos when it unleash.
This car doesn't just exist to be driven. It exists to be witnessed. Even if only for a moment. Even if only as a blur in the corner of your eye. And that moment stays with you. Forever. Fans call it the ultimate fusion of myth and machine.
Engineer call it impossible made real. Enemy call it a nightmare that never ends.
But to those who believe in its symbol, it is salvation. Because the Batmobile isn't just Batman's car. It is Batman, expressed in metal, fire, and speed.
The mind of a detective. The rage of a warrior. The stealth of a shadow. And the heart of something more.
It isn't human. It isn't machine. It is something between.
Something greater.
When you see it, you understand. It doesn't need words. It doesn't need explanation. The presence says everything. Even parked in silence, it radiates power. You don't walk near it casually.
You hesitate.
You pause. You feel your chest tighten.
Because your instinct whisper a truth.
You are standing in front of a predator.
And the predator don't forgive.
The 2026 Batmobile does not compromise. While modern supercars compete for luxury, for beauty, for approval, this monster doesn't care. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't beg for attention. It takes it. It demands it. When it moves through the city, it doesn't blend with traffic. It bends traffic around it. Like water around stone.
Like shadow bending towards the dark.
And yet, for all its violence, there is elegance. The way its matte finish swallows the light. The way its lines cut the air. The way its movements seem too fluid, too alive for a car. It feels choreographed.
Like a predator circling.
Like a beast measuring its prey. This duality is what makes it timeless. It is a machine of destruction. But it is also a masterpiece of design. It looks like art. But it behaves like war. For fans, the arrival of the 2026 Batmobile means more than just another redesign. It means the evolution of a symbol that has carried through generations. From the sleek curves of the classics. To the armored tanks of modern reimaginings. To this, the perfect balance of both.
This Batmobile respects the past.
But it doesn't live in it. It devours the future. Every inch is innovation.
Every sound is evolution.
Every glance is history, rewritten. But make no mistake. This is not nostalgia.
This is power.
For car enthusiasts, it challenges everything they know about performance. It is faster than most hypercars. Stronger than most military vehicles.
Smarter than most machines on Earth.
And it wears no badge but the bat. For designers, it sets a new benchmark. How do you compete with something that is not just a car? How do you design something that is part vehicle, part myth, part nightmare? The answer is simple. You don't. You admire it. You study it. And you accept that it doesn't play by the same rules. It is in its own league. And it always will be. The cultural weight of the Batmobile cannot be ignored. It isn't just loved by fans of comics or films. It is admired by engineers. It is respected by drivers. It is feared by villains, real or imagined. Because it embodies the most primal human emotions.
Fear of the dark. Admiration of power. Awe of mystery.
and the unshakable belief in something greater watching over us. That is why the Batmobile transcends entertainment. It becomes legend. And the 2026 version may be the purest form of that legend yet. When it first appeared in matte black, the world stopped. The reveal wasn't just a showcase. It was a statement. The future has arrived.
And it were shadow like a crown. The way the matte finish swallow reflection makes it feel unreal.
Almost like your eyes can't fully grasp it. As if reality itself bends to let it pass. It doesn't shine. It doesn't sparkle.
It devour light.
And that makes it different from any other car on Earth. Because luxury cars scream for attention with glitter, chrome, and polish.
But the Batmobile whisper.
And its whisper is louder than any shout. It doesn't need to beg for your eyes.
Your eyes don't have a choice.
They lock onto it. They stay. They can't look away. That is the essence of fear. And that is the essence of power. The 2026 Batmobile is finally here.
And with it, a remindé. Legends never die.
They evolve. They sharpen. They return. And when they do, they change everything. Forever. The streets were never meant to contain it. They tremble beneath its weight. They shiver with each roar of its engine. Because the 2026 Batmobile isn't just built for speed. It's built for dominance. The engine is a beast, but it doesn't sound like any engine you've ever heard.
It isn't a roar.
It isn't a growl. It's both, and something else. A frequency that you don't just hear, but feel. In your chest.
In your bones. It shakes the ground beneath you.
It makes the air vibrate. It makes silence sound deafening after it passes. This is more than horsepower.
This is intimidation through sound.
This is fear weaponized. But while the sound is primal, the tech is futuristic.
Every system inside the Batmobile feel alive.
Artificial intelligence monitors every function. Sensors read every surface, every corner, every threat. The cockpit isn't a dashboard.
It's a command center.
Holographic displays.
Adaptive HUDs.
Weapons integration so seamless it feels like an extension of the driver's mind. Touch, gesture, even thought response controls.
Yes, thought.
Because the Batmobile now anticipates. It predicts. It calculates before you even act. It knows. And that makes it unstoppable. In pursuit, no car stands a chance. It accelerates like physics doesn't matter.
0 to 60 feel like 0 to infinity.
Its launch control doesn't just throw you back.
It pin you. Like gravity doubled.
Like the world itself trying to hold you down while the Batmobile refuses. And once it's in motion, it's not just speed. It's agility. It moves through corners like liquid shadow. It flows where it should not fit. It sticks where no tire should grip.
Every movement feel impossible.
Yet every movement is real. That is why chase scenes with the 2026 Batmobile don't feel like fiction.
They feel like nightmares bleeding into reality.
When criminals run, they don't just flee from a car. They flee from inevitability. Because the Batmobile does not lose. Not in the city. Not on the highway.
Not in the air. Yes, the air.
Because this monster isn't just bound to roads. Its jet boosters unleash vertical fury. Wings fold. Flaps adjust. And suddenly, this is no longer a car.
It's a predator above.
Watching. Waiting. Striking. In one moment, it is steel on asphalt. In the next, it is a shadow in the sky. And when it lands, the ground shakes with a force that rattles windows. Every entrance is theatrical.
Every arrival is unforgettable.
Because the Batmobile doesn't just arrive. It announces.
It déclare.
It says without words, the Dark Knight is here. The gadgets on board are more advanced than most military arsenals. EMP disruptors. Drones that detach and scout. Net launchers that trap fleeing vehicles. Pulse cannons that disable engines with a single strike. And cloaking systems that make it vanish in plain sight. Yes, vanish. The matte finish is already designed to absorb light. But with adaptive projection, it bends perception. To cameras. To sensors. To eyes. 1 second it's there. The next, it's gone. And when it reappears, it's too late. You're already caught. Already surrounded. Already finished. This is why the Batmobile isn't a car. It's an arsenal. It's an army. It's a fortress that moves. And every tool it carries is designed with one purpose: control. The city bends to its will. Criminals break before its presence. And allies breathe easier when they hear its approach. Because in the darkest nights, its sound is a promise. A promise that justice is near. But what makes the 2026 Batmobile truly terrifying is how seamless it all feels. None of this tech feels forced.
It feels natural.
As if the Batmobile itself is alive. As if the car is not driven, but bonded to its driver. Batman doesn't just command it. He synchronizes with it.
The line between man and machine blur.
Until there is no man. No machine.
Only the Batmobile. Only the legend.
And when it moves, it doesn't just move through streets. It moves through history. It carries the weight of every version before it. It carries the echoes of every story told. It carries the fear of every villain that faced it. And it transforms all of that into power. Into something that doesn't just chase you.
It haunts you.
Because even when it's gone, you still hear it. Even in silence, you still see it. Even in safety, you still fear it. That is the true weapon of the 2026 Batmobile. Not its speed. Not its firepower. Not its armor. But its memory. Once you've seen it, you are never the same. And that is why it will always remain more than a machine. It is a monster in matte black.
A monster that lives in the shadow.
A monster that doesn't just protect Gotham.
It defines it.